The door opens through imagination and faith. Imagine for a moment that you are standing before an endless ocean where the sky and the water merge into one radiant silence. Each wave is not just water, but the whisper of infinity, inviting you to step through. There, every possibility you have ever longed for is still waiting to be called by name. But to receive what already belongs to you, you must open your heart to accept it. No longer limited by fear, doubt, or old memories, you are being invited to become a co-creator with the sacred source of the universe. Faith is the door that leads you into that realm. Not blind belief, but a quiet knowing that there is a perfect order at work, even when your eyes cannot yet see it. In this noisy world, many seek miracles outside themselves, forgetting that the greatest miracle has always lived within. Faith is not for pleading, but for remembering that you and the source have never been apart. Like breath, each moment of trust is a bridge between the visible and the invisible, between the small human and the infinite creator. Let this image come alive in your mind, a stream of light from that vast ocean moving toward you, surrounding you with calm and certainty. That light does not come to reward you, but to remind you that you have always been blessed. Blessing is not a gift reserved for the chosen few, but a flow available to every soul that opens its heart. As you listen more deeply, you will feel the water touch your feet, warm, gentle, and full of energy. That is the invitation, a call beyond all religions and all theories. The divine voice within you is saying, step in, have faith. And in the moment you truly believe, all limits begin to dissolve. Fear turns into stillness, doubt becomes light, and your heart becomes as clear as the sea. From here, the journey begins, the journey back to the blessing that has been waiting for you all along. The essence of blessing and the universal law. When you have walked through the first door of faith, you begin to touch what Emmet Fox called the true nature of blessing. Blessing does not come from pleading, from chance, or from divine favor. It is the natural result of living in harmony with the sacred order that operates in every breath of the universe. It is the inevitable consequence of alignment. When your mind is in rhythm with the current of creation, your life begins to echo that same harmony, complete, peaceful, and abundant. Many believe blessings only come when they have done enough good, accumulated enough merit, or prayed hard enough. But that belief only takes them further from the source. In truth, blessing does not need to be earned, only received. For God or the source does not operate on the principle of reward and punishment, but on the principle of resonance. When you live in fear, you resonate with lack. When you live in trust, you resonate with abundance. Blessing is simply the reflection of the vibration you dwell in. Imagine your mind as a great mirror. If that mirror is clouded with doubt, fear, and anger, the image you see will be distorted. But when you wipe it clean with faith and gratitude, the reflection becomes clear and the light of blessing shines through without obstruction. The outer world is nothing but a faithful copy of the inner one. Blessing, therefore, does not come from outside. It is born within you, then radiates outward like fragrance from a flower. Just as a seed naturally sprouts when it meets good soil, blessing arises when you plant faith in the soil of consciousness. That seed does not need you to force it, nor to worry over it. It only needs you to trust that the law of growth is already within it. The law of the universe is neutral and impartial. It is like electricity. Whoever understands and applies it correctly will be illuminated. And if one resists it, the current remains the same. Only the result changes. Therefore, blessing does not come from pleading, but from understanding and alignment. When you know and trust that the universe always moves toward harmony, you no longer need to compete or compare. You understand that everything has its place in the divine order. One who lives in harmony with this law feels meaning in every event of life, whether smooth or difficult. They do not ask, why this happens to me, but rather, what is this teaching me? They do not try to control life, but listen to live in rhythm with it. That attitude opens the door to blessing. Look at a forest after the rain. Every drop of water sinks into the soil, every ray of sunlight filters through the leaves. Everything works in silence and order, without haste or conflict. Humans are the same. When your mind is still and your thoughts are pure, life begins to flow in its natural way. Blessing is not something to chase, but something to allow. Yet, to live in alignment with this universal law, you need humility. Humility to recognize that your small intellect cannot control the universe, but can harmonize with it. Humility to let go of control and to acknowledge that a higher intelligence is guiding everything better than you could imagine. When you accept that, the burden immediately falls away and a new space opens, the space of faith. Blessing does not distinguish between rich and poor, learned or unlearned. It only distinguishes between those who trust and those who doubt. The one who believes receives, the one who doubts rejects. This law needs no intermediary. You need no permission or approval. You only need to realize that you are already living in an ocean of blessing, and all you have to do is open your hand. Faith is the act of opening that hand, no longer shrinking in fear or demanding through anxious prayers. Faith is the quiet knowing that supply already exists and that you only need to align with it through thought, emotion, and action. When you do, blessing begins to move through you, not only to fill you, but to overflow through you to others. For the universe does not only want you to be blessed, it wants you to become a channel of blessing. When you receive, you also give. When you are healed, you become an instrument of healing. This is the true nature of blessing, a sacred cycle where giving and receiving are but two breaths of the same life force. You may ask, how do I know if I am living in the flow of blessing? The answer is simple. When your heart is at peace, even if life is not perfect, when you are grateful even in challenges, when you trust the meaning of each day, that is the sign you are already aligned with the universal law. So now, can you feel a part of blessing around you? If yes, let gratitude expand within you right now. And if you are still uncertain, simply pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath, and quietly say, I allow blessing to enter my life. You have just performed an act of faith. And in that very moment, the universal law begins to move. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for allowing the light to pass through your soul. Faith is the origin of all blessings. Faith is the starting point of every good thing in both spiritual and material life. Without faith, every human effort is like a seed sown on dry stone. But when faith is present, it turns each thought and every small action into fertile soil where blessings can bloom. Emmet Fox once said that faith is not a fragile hope that things will get better. Faith is the certain knowing that a divine order is at work and that you are a part of that order. True faith is not waiting for something outside to bring salvation, but realizing that within you already exists the power to create, to change, and to heal. When a person truly believes, they do not beg for a miracle, they become the miracle. Faith does not stand still. It is a moving force, a living energy that arranges everything in the best way for you. It cannot be seen with the eyes, but it can be felt in the stillness of the heart. Imagine your mind as a garden. Each thought is a seed. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, they will grow into anxiety and lack. But if you plant faith, love, and gratitude, that garden will bloom with abundance. Faith is the soil that nourishes, the hidden water that brings every good seed to life. Without it, even the noblest idea remains only words on paper. Many people confuse faith with hope. Hope says, I wish this will happen. Faith says, I know this is happening. Hope is still tied to doubt, while faith stands firm in the storm. Faith does not need proof, for it is the proof itself. When you believe, you create a corresponding energy, and that energy shapes your circumstances. Each time you believe that you are good enough, you send a signal into space, and space responds with opportunities, people, and events that confirm that belief. On the other hand, if you believe you are small and incapable, you will find every reason to prove yourself right. The universe does not judge, it only reflects. Faith is the command you send into this vast spiritual system. Think back to moments in your life when you believed absolutely in something. Maybe when you trusted that you would overcome illness, find the job you wanted, or forgive someone. And in the end, it happened. That was not coincidence. That was the power of faith at work. Faith is also the medicine for every sickness of the mind. When people lose faith, they lose direction. But even a spark of belief, like a flame in the dark, is enough to light the way out. That is why in every religion, in every philosophy, faith is always seen as the beginning of redemption. No one can give you faith. Others may inspire you, they may tell you stories, but faith must be born within you. It cannot be borrowed. It cannot be bought. It can only be awakened. Faith is not learned from books, it is awakened through experience. Every time you choose to believe instead of fear, to trust instead of doubt, to stay instead of run, you are strengthening your faith. And that faith does not have to be big at once. It can begin as a speck of light in your mind. When you nurture it with patience and gratitude, it grows into a light strong enough to dissolve every doubt. Someone once asked, "How do I know if I truly have faith?" You will know when your heart is calm. True faith always brings peace, even in the middle of the storm. It does not make you loud. It does not make you prove anything. It simply makes you feel certain, even when the result has not yet appeared. And now, I want you to do one small thing. Place your hand over your heart, take a deep breath, and quietly say, "I believe." Just 3 words, but they can change your entire frequency. When you say, "I believe," you send a message to the universe that you are ready, and the universe, like an endless river, begins to flow toward you. If you can feel that, let me know by commenting, "I am ready to change," or simply the number 1, so I know you are listening with your heart. Thank you for being here, for choosing to believe, for planting the first seed of blessing within your soul. Faith and the law of attraction, the bridge between thought and result. Between the visible and the invisible world lies a miraculous bridge, and that bridge is called faith. It connects what you think to what you receive. It connects dreams to reality, prayers to manifestation. Without faith, every thought is like dust drifting in space, scattered and uncertain. But when ignited by faith, those thoughts become magnetic, drawing toward them all that shares their frequency. The law of attraction says that like attracts like. Every thought, emotion, and belief you hold emits a certain vibration, and the universe simply responds to that vibration with its matching reflection. If joy is within you, you attract joy. If fear is within you, you attract fear. The universe neither punishes nor rewards, it only mirrors. Faith is the key that tunes that reflection. Imagine you are holding a magnet in your hand. When you believe in good things, that magnet begins to pull toward you the pieces of opportunity, grace, and the right people. When you doubt, the magnet weakens, losing its power. And when you are afraid, you reverse your own polarity, pushing every blessing away. That is why faith is not just an emotion, it is the current that powers your entire spiritual system. Many say they have tried using the law of attraction. They think positive thoughts, they visualize good outcomes, yet nothing changes. Because they forget that thought alone has no power unless it is charged with faith. Thought is the seed, faith is the soil, water and light. If the seed falls on dry ground, it cannot sprout. But when faith is present, it pushes through every hard layer of soil toward the light, even when you cannot see it happening beneath the surface. Think of a field after planting season. The farmer does not dig up the soil every day to check the seed. He trusts the season, the earth, and the law. That trust keeps him patient. Your faith works the same way. It does not require proof each day, only certainty. When you believe, you are already connected to the flow of the law of attraction, and that flow never loses its way. Sometimes you think you are being delayed, that your prayers have not been answered. But in truth, everything you believe in is being arranged, growing in the unseen. Just like when you send a radio signal, you cannot see where it goes, but it reaches its destination. Faith is the transmission frequency, and the law of attraction is the receiver. When the two align, miracles happen. Faith also helps you filter your thoughts. Not every idea is worth keeping. Faith acts as the gatekeeper of the mind's garden, knowing which thoughts to nurture and which to release. If you constantly dwell on fear, lack, and worry, you are planting weeds. But if you focus on what you want with gratitude and certainty, you are sowing seeds of blessing. The universe works by energy, not by words. You may say, "I want peace," but if your heart is still restless, the universe hears the energy, not the sentence. Faith makes your words real because it infuses them with the energy of belief. A person with faith does not check for results every day. They know the law is working. They still act, but without fear. They still wait, but without anxiety. They live as if what they desire already exists, because in their heart it does. That state of being allows everything they need to appear naturally, without force. And faith does not only attract wealth or success, it attracts peace, health, meaningful relationships, and inner clarity. Each time you believe in something good, you raise the frequency of all humanity a little higher. One thought filled with faith can change not only your life, but also touch others, like a candle lighting another flame. Let your heart be like a river, flowing without resistance. Let your faith be the bridge between two shores, the shore of thought and the shore of result. When you walk upon that bridge, you do not need to see the entire path, only the next step. And each step of trust will reveal the next. So if today you carry a dream within, stop asking how will it happen, and simply say, I know it is coming. When you believe that, you shift the entire wind of your life. The universe will begin arranging its currents to carry you there, not by magic, but by its own natural law. Let me ask you one thing, as Emmet Fox once asked, if you truly believe your blessing already exists, what is there to fear? Comment, I am ready to change, or simply the number 1. So I know you have stepped onto your own bridge of faith. Thank you, for in this very moment, the flow of blessing is already moving toward you. Discipline of thought and the daily practice of faith. Faith is not a lightning flash that appears in a moment of inspiration, but a flame sustained through daily discipline. Just as an artist practices until their hands become skillful, one who lives in faith must train the mind so it does not get pulled back into fear, doubt, or old habits. If faith is the seed, then discipline is the gardener's hand, tending, watering, and keeping the garden in light. Mental discipline does not mean force, it means conscious choice. Each morning when you wake up, you stand before 2 roads, the road of fear and the road of trust. You are the one who decides which path to walk. Your day will shape itself according to that choice. If you begin with worry, you will find reasons to fear all day. If you begin with faith, you will notice signs of blessing everywhere. Emmet Fox once said, you cannot have one kind of mind and another kind of circumstance. Every circumstance is the result of thought. So the first step of spiritual discipline is to take charge of the stream of thoughts flowing within you. Do not let them drift like a wild river, but guide them as a mindful rower who knows the current. Ask yourself, is this thought building or destroying me? Does it come from faith or from fear? And if it comes from fear, change direction at once. Changing direction does not mean forcing your mind to stop thinking, but replacing. In the garden, you cannot pull weeds and leave the soil empty. You must plant flowers in their place. When a negative thought arises, gently say, I choose to believe in good. Then turn your attention to a brighter image, a higher possibility. Gradually, you will train your mind to respond with faith instead of fear. A simple yet powerful practice is the 3 points of faith each day. In the morning when you open your eyes, take a few seconds to say to yourself, today everything I need is already here. At noon, when work feels heavy, pause to breathe and say, I am guided by divine intelligence. At night before sleep, give thanks for the blessings of the day and trust that tomorrow will be even better. With just those 3 small moments, you have created anchors that hold your mind in the vibration of faith. Discipline in faith is also discipline of speech. Words carry energy. Every time you complain, you program lack. Every time you speak positively, you open doors to blessing. Guard your words as a gatekeeper guards a treasure. Before you speak, ask, does this come from faith or from fear? If it comes from fear, stay silent. Silence can sometimes be the highest form of faith. Another aspect of practicing faith is consistency. Some believe easily on sunny days, but lose heart when storms come. True faith is not shaken by circumstance. It is the lamp that stands still even when the wind blows. Each challenge is a training ground for faith. Without adversity, faith remains weak. It is when things go wrong that your trust grows strong. Train your mind in another kind of discipline, not chasing results, but focusing on the process. Like a mountain climber who does not stare at the peak, but stays mindful of the next step, you too should do the same. Faith does not ask you to see the entire future. It only asks you to trust today's step. When you give your best to the present, the future unfolds on its own. An essential part of practicing faith is rest. Many try too hard and worry too much, forgetting that rest is also an act of trust. When you allow yourself to rest, you are telling the universe, I know everything is still fine, even when I am not in control. In that stillness, the universe has space to arrange things for you. Faith and action are not separate. Faith without action is wishful thinking, and action without faith is blind effort. Discipline is where the two meet. When you act with faith, every small thing you do carries creative power. When you send a kind message, work with love, or simply help someone smile, you are practicing faith. But remember, discipline in faith does not mean you will never stumble. There will be days of weakness and moments of doubt. Do not blame yourself. Just return gently, like a mother lifting a child who has fallen. Breathe deeply and say, I return to faith. Each return makes you stronger, deeper, and more genuine on this path. Finally, remember that faith is not about achieving something, but about becoming someone who believes. The goal is not the blessing itself, but the consciousness that stands steady in every condition. When you reach that state, blessings come naturally, because you have become the source of light. Faith is an art, and discipline is how you practice that art each day. Every morning, practice a little more trust, a little more gratitude, a little more peace. Gradually, you will find that discipline is no longer discipline, but joy, the natural rhythm of your soul. And when you live in that rhythm, you will realize that blessing is not a surprise gift, but the natural result of a mind that has chosen to believe, believing in what is unseen, and the art of drawing the curtain of light. There are things in life that cannot be seen with the eyes, yet exist vividly in the depths of the soul. Just as light is always there, though hidden behind a heavy curtain, your faith is the hand that draws that curtain aside, allowing the unseen to reveal itself. To believe in what is unseen is not illusion, but the ability to see with the eye of spirit, the eye that knows the good already exists, simply waiting to be recognized. Emmet Fox once said that faith does not require proof because it is the proof. When you believe, you touch the level of the universe where every idea and every possibility already exists. The physical eyes see form, but consciousness sees the source. The one who lives by sight says, I will believe when I see, while the one who lives by faith says, I will see when I believe. That sentence holds the secret to every miracle. Imagine you are standing in a room full of light, but the heavy curtains are drawn, making the room dark. You may think the light is gone, but it is only hidden. Faith is the gentle act of pulling the curtain back, not with force, but with trust that the light is already there. When you believe, you act with certainty, and that action is the hand that draws. To believe in what is unseen also means to rest in the phase of not yet. When you plant a seed, you cannot see the roots grow, but you know they are growing. Likewise, when you affirm the good, you may not see signs yet, but do not doubt. Everything is being prepared in the invisible field where eyes cannot reach, but energy is already moving. The one without faith grows impatient, but the one with faith knows how to wait, because faith does not count time, it lives in eternity. There are times you pray and nothing seems to change and your heart begins to tremble. But remember, the bridge between the visible and invisible remains strong only when you stand still at its center. Every doubt removes a brick, every act of belief lays a new one. Choose to build, not to break. The universe never sleeps. Even in silence, unseen forces are arranging the path ahead of you. When you believe, you become a co-worker with those forces. You are no longer a passive dreamer, but a conscious creator. Faith is not sitting still and hoping. Faith is walking with awareness that each step is supported. You may not know exactly what is happening, but you know you are being guided. One of the greatest lessons of spiritual life is learning to accept darkness as part of the path. The road is not always fully lit. Sometimes you see only the light for the next step, but that light is always enough. Faith does not need a map. It only needs a step. Believing in what is unseen is also the art of surrender. When you trust that the universe is working, you no longer need to control every detail. You can rest in silence, knowing that an invisible hand is arranging everything for your highest good, and in that surrender, movement begins. Just as the river flows only when it is not blocked, blessing flows only when you let go. Many ask, how do I know if I truly believe? The answer is, you will know when you stop being afraid. When your heart no longer struggles, no longer rushes, no longer seeks, but rests in deep peace, that is when faith is alive. Peace is the sign of true faith. When you believe, you stop asking when or how and simply smile, saying, I know it will come. Believing in what is unseen helps you notice blessings in the smallest details. A chance meeting, a kind word, a closed door that leads to another opening, all are flashes of light through the curtain of life. The eyes of faith see those signs, and the more you notice, the clearer they become. Remember that what you believe not only shapes your own reality, but also touches others. When you believe in goodness, you spread that energy. When you believe in healing, you become a channel of healing. When you believe that every soul carries light, you help others remember their own. The faith of one can become the miracle of many. So practice the art of drawing the curtain of light every day. Whenever fear comes, ask yourself, which eyes am I using? The eyes of the body or the eyes of the soul? If it is the eyes of the soul, you will know the light never left. It was only waiting for you to remember. You can try this right now. Close your eyes and imagine a curtain before you. Behind it is a soft, warm, endless light. Lift your hand in your imagination and gently draw the curtain aside. Feel the light pouring in through your mind, your breath, and every cell of your being. Let that light whisper to you, all good things already exist. You only need to believe. And in that moment when you smile without needing to see, without needing proof, you have truly believed. That is when the curtain of the unseen is drawn back, and the sacred light begins to flood your life, living in flow and the principle of alignment with the universe. There is an unchanging law that governs every movement of existence, from the rotation of the planets to the rhythm of your breath, and that law is harmony. Everything in the universe operates in perfect order. When you move with that order, life becomes effortless and natural. When you resist it, you feel heavy, lost, and full of struggle. Living in flow does not mean giving up. It means cooperating with the intelligent energy of the universe, the energy that constantly seeks to bring you back into balance and wholeness. Emmet Fox once said, when you live in harmony with the law of life, you no longer have to try so hard. All good things come as a natural consequence. This is not comfort talk. It is a sacred formula. The universe has its rhythm. The seed does not strain to sprout. The sun does not have to remember to rise. And the river does not need a map to find the sea. Each knows its way because it has never left the flow of creation. It is only when humans step out of that rhythm that exhaustion begins. Living in flow begins with self-awareness. Every time you feel drained, it is a sign you are resisting the current. Every time you feel peaceful, even without answers, it is a sign you are aligned. The flow of the universe always moves toward the good, like a river flowing to the sea. Your task is not to change the river's direction, but to learn how to swim with it. There are three principles for living in flow: awareness, acceptance, and aligned action. Asterisk, asterisk. Awareness, asterisk. Asterisk means seeing yourself honestly. Ask, am I moving with the current or against it? If you feel tense, controlling, or afraid of loss, you are trying to change the direction of the water. Awareness helps you pause, breathe, and let the current guide you. Asterisk, asterisk. Acceptance, asterisk. Asterisk does not mean surrendering in defeat, but trusting the intelligence of the flow. Just as a sailor knows that sometimes the contrary wind is meant to adjust the sail, you understand that every situation serves your growth. When you accept, the energy of resistance within you dissolves, and you begin to feel the invisible support. Asterisk, asterisk, aligned action, asterisk. Asterisk means moving while listening. When you are in flow, you still act, but your actions come not from fear or force, but from inspiration. You no longer chase results. You simply respond to the calling of the moment. Every act becomes a dance with the universe. Living in flow also means releasing the need to be right. The universe does not care about right or wrong. It only responds to your frequency. When you cling to your opinions, you build a wall between yourself and the current. When you let go, the wall disappears and the water flows again. Someone may ask, if I let go, who will control my life? The answer is, life itself will do it better than you. In truth, the universe has never been against you. Only you have been against yourself. When you realize this, conflict fades away. You no longer need to fight, to prove, or to win. You only need to understand. And in that understanding, everything falls naturally into place. When you live in flow, you become sensitive to the subtle signs around you. A meeting, an opportunity, a passing thought. All can be messages from the universe. Listen closely. For the universe does not speak in words. It speaks through synchronicities, intuition, and the quiet feeling in your heart when you are on the right path. The more you trust, the clearer those signs become. You may think living in flow is easy, but it is actually the deepest form of discipline, the discipline of not interfering, the discipline of trusting. The human mind wants control, wants to know outcomes, but the soul only wants harmony. And when the soul leads, you enter the state of effortless action where everything seems to do itself. In that state, time no longer feels rushed, and the path no longer feels uncertain. You stop chasing dreams and allow them to come to you. One who lives in flow is not weak, but strong in trust. They act not out of fear of loss, but from a desire to give. They speak less, feel more, and live like the river, gentle but never still. Now, as you read these words, pause and ask yourself, is there something within me resisting the current? Is there something I am still holding when I know it is time to let go? Let me know by commenting, I am ready to change, or simply the number 1, so I know you are truly listening to yourself. Thank you, because in the moment you acknowledge that, you have already begun to move with the river of the universe. And soon you will realize that living in flow does not mean life is always easy. It means that even in difficulty, you know you are being guided. Then every step carries meaning, and each new day becomes a gentle wave moving you closer to the shore of blessing. Overcoming doubt and limited belief through the truth of worth, there is no enemy of faith stronger than doubt. It does not arrive with a roar, but creeps in quietly like a cold wind through the cracks of the mind. Just a fragment of doubt is enough to shatter the image of possibility, of trust and of blessing that you are nurturing. If faith is light, then doubt is the shadow that covers it. Yet what you must remember is that shadow has no real substance. It is only the absence of light. Many people tell themselves they have faith, but deep inside a small voice whispers, is it really true? Am I worthy? What if I fail? Those questions do not come from the soul, but from fear, the part of the mind accustomed to limitation. Fear wants you to stay in the familiar, where you do not risk, do not hope, and do not grow. But the soul is different. The soul was not made to stand still. It was born to expand, to rise, to return to the light it belongs to. To overcome doubt, you must first recognize it. Do not push it away with hatred, but look at it through the light of awareness. When you look at doubt without judgment, it loses its power, just as darkness disappears when you turn on the light. Ask it, where do you come from? You will find that the root of doubt is often an old belief, a wound from the past, or a word that once made you feel small. Know that all of these are only outer layers, not the truth of who you are. The truth is this: you were born from light, and that light never goes out. You do not need to become worthy to receive blessing, because your very existence is the blessing. Faith does not demand perfection, it only asks for truth. The truth that you are part of the divine intelligence of the universe, that you have the right to receive and the power to create. When you believe in the truth of your worth, you begin to untie the knots that doubt has wrapped around your heart. You no longer ask, am I enough, but simply smile and say, I am enough. That is the first shift from fear to trust. A person living in doubt is like one standing on the shore, seeing only the waves, afraid to enter the water. But once they step in, they discover that the ocean itself is holding them. Faith works the same way. Only when you move does it lift you. Emmet Fox once taught that each time you think of what you lack, you send a signal of poverty into the universe. But each time you affirm your completeness, you open the channel for blessing. The only way to dissolve doubt is to shift the mind's frequency from lack to abundance, from fear to belief. Practice this affirmation daily. I am a child of the source of light, and all good things already belong to me. Say it not only with words, but with feeling. The deeper you feel it, the stronger faith takes root. Sometimes doubt is not directed at yourself, but at life itself. You may ask, does the universe really hear me? Is there truly someone guiding me? The answer is yes. Always yes. The universe is not a distant power, but a living flow of energy moving through you in every breath. Each time you breathe with the universe. Each time you love with the love of the source. How could you doubt what is operating within you? To transform doubt into faith, practice conscious attention. Choose to observe evidence of blessing rather than evidence of lack. When someone helps you, when a small opportunity appears, when a random word gives you strength, those are signs that faith is working. The more you notice, the more you see, and the more you see, the more you believe. There is a profound truth. Doubt can only exist in a mind that has forgotten who it is. When you remember that you are a ray of the Creator's light, all limits dissolve. There is no more I cannot. Only I am learning to express it. No more I am not enough. Only I am returning to my wholeness. Do not let memories of failure make you doubt your power. Every fall is not proof of limitation, but a test of faith. Faith does not grow in comfort. It is refined through challenge. Just as gold must pass through fire to shine, belief must meet adversity to become clear. Each time you rise again, you prove not only your strength, but that your faith is alive and real. Remember, doubt cannot be defeated by reasoning, only dissolved through experience. Each time you act despite fear, each time you continue believing without seeing, you weaken doubt. Every step of faith is a strike against fear. One day you will realize it never truly had power. It lived only when you fed it with attention. Then you will feel a deep change. Your heart will grow light. Your mind will grow bright. Doubt may still appear, but you will no longer believe it. You will smile and say, I know who you are, and I choose the light. In that moment, you have already overcome, because overcoming doubt is not about fighting it, but seeing it in the light of truth, that you are always enough, always loved, always guided. When you live in that awareness, nothing can separate you from the flow of blessing. Practicing gratitude as the background music of abundance. If faith is the door that opens to blessing, then gratitude is the gentle music that begins to play as that door opens. Gratitude is the background melody of abundance. It is not loud or showy, but quietly tunes the frequency of your mind, aligning you with the best the universe has to offer. When you are grateful, you are saying to life, I see your beauty in every small thing. And in that moment, you open more doors for blessings to enter. Many people seek abundance without realizing they are swimming in it every day. The sun shines freely, the air allows you to breathe without condition, and your heart keeps beating without being told to. Every second you are alive is a gift, yet people forget because the mind is often occupied with what is missing instead of what is present. When you keep looking at what you lack, you cannot see fullness. But when you look at fullness, the emptiness disappears. Gratitude is the art of recognition. It does not need perfect circumstances to exist. You do not need to wait for good things to be thankful. Gratitude itself is what makes things good. Like rain softening dry soil, gratitude softens the heart. When you are grateful, you shift from the vibration of lack to the vibration of sufficiency, and that is the frequency through which blessing finds you. Emmet Fox once said, when you feel gratitude, you are in harmony with the intelligence of the universe. Indeed, every feeling of gratitude is a silent prayer, an acknowledgement that you and the universe are co-creating together. Try this each morning as you wake. Before reaching for your phone, take 10 seconds to whisper, thank you that I am alive, thank you that I am loved. In doing so, you begin your day on the frequency of light. Gratitude is also the strength that carries you through challenge. When life feels hard, gratitude keeps you steady. You are not grateful for the pain, but for the lesson. You are not grateful for the loss, but for the growth. Each time you find something to thank for in adversity, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim and become a co-creator with the universe. Imagine someone standing in the middle of a storm, the wind blowing, the rain pouring down, yet they lift their head and say, "Thank you, for this rain will make the earth more fertile." That person does not deny the storm, but sees its value. That vision turns fear into freedom. Gratitude changes how you see the world, and when you change your vision, the world changes too. One of the most powerful ways to practice gratitude is to write down 3 things you are grateful for each day. Do not write them mechanically, but feel them deeply. It could be your morning coffee, a stranger's smile, or your first deep breath after a long day. When you write them down, you train your mind to look for the positive. And the miracle is, the more you look, the more you find, and the more you find, the more you are given. You can also practice gratitude toward yourself. Thank your hands for their tireless work, your eyes for seeing the world, your heart for enduring and still loving. When you are grateful for yourself, you send a message to every cell that you honor life. Your body responds with health, your mind responds with peace. Gratitude not only changes emotion, it changes physical energy. Scientists have found that when people feel deep gratitude, their heart rhythm becomes balanced, their brain waves move into harmony, and their immune system strengthens. This means gratitude is not only a spiritual feeling, but a real healing force. So when you feel anxious or lost, pause and whisper, "Thank you." Just 2 words, but powerful enough to shift the atmosphere around you. Let gratitude become the background music of every moment, while you work, eat, talk, or breathe. Do not wait for a special occasion to give thanks. Make every moment special through thankfulness. Now let me ask you this. Looking back at your life, is there something you truly feel grateful for? Perhaps someone who helped you, an event that changed you, or simply the gift of waking up today. Think about it, and if you wish, share it by commenting "I am grateful" or by writing what you feel. Because when you express it, the energy of gratitude multiplies. Thank you, because in this very moment, you are in tune with the rhythm of abundance. And remember, gratitude is not the result of happiness, it is the cause. When you are grateful, happiness comes naturally. When you are not, nothing feels enough. The universe always responds in kind. If you sing the song of gratitude, the universe will sing the harmony of blessing. From now on, let gratitude become your natural breath. Each heartbeat, see it as a thank you. Each time your eyes open, see it as grace. And each time you face a challenge, smile, knowing that even this is teaching you how to see light in the dark. Foundational spiritual rituals that nurture the flow of blessing. There are small things that hold the power of the entire universe. Daily spiritual rituals are such things. They are not mere actions, but ways of re-establishing your connection with the divine source, where all blessings begin. When you practice them with true presence, you open the channel for the current of light to flow through you, nourishing the soul, cleansing the mind, and renewing faith. Rituals do not have to follow rigid religious forms. They can be anything that helps you feel connected with yourself, with others, and with the Creator. A deep breath, a moment of silence, a prayer, or a simple expression of gratitude for life, all are rituals when done with sincerity. Asterisk, asterisk, meditation. Asterisk. Asterisk is the foundational ritual. When you sit in stillness, you are not escaping life, but returning to its source. In that silence, you hear the whisper of the universe, a sound so subtle that only a peaceful soul can perceive it. Meditation is not only relaxation, it is a bridge between the finite and the infinite. Each time you close your eyes, you step into the boundless space where there is no line between you and the universe. In that space, you do not need to ask, because you know you are already one with the divine energy. Asterisk, asterisk, prayer. Asterisk, asterisk is the second ritual. a sincere conversation between you and the source. Do not think of prayer as begging, for when you pray in faith, you are not asking for more. You are simply opening your heart to receive what is already yours. Prayer is a reminder that you are never alone. When you say, "Guide me in the right way," the universe answers not with words, but with opportunities, coincidences, and intuition rising from within. Asterisk, asterisk, mindfulness, asterisk, asterisk is the third ritual. It teaches you to live fully in each moment. When you wash your hands, feel the water flowing over your skin. When you eat, give thanks for the food that has come to you through countless hands. When you walk, feel each step connect with the earth. Mindfulness turns every ordinary act into meditation. It helps you see that blessings are already surrounding you. Asterisk, asterisk, positive affirmation. Asterisk, asterisk is another powerful ritual. Words carry creative energy. When you affirm, "I am peaceful, I am abundant, I am guided," you are sending a command into the universe. But remember, affirmation is not mechanical repetition. It is speech blended with emotion. Speak with belief, with the voice of one who has received, not one who is still asking. Each statement is a seed planted in the soil of consciousness, and when watered with faith, it blossoms. Asterisk, asterisk. Spiritual journaling, asterisk, asterisk, is also a sacred practice. Each evening, write down 3 things you learned that day and 1 thing you wish to give tomorrow. As you write, you are not just recording memory, you are conversing with your soul. Writing helps you see the evolution of your faith, from fear to peace, from lack to fullness. Asterisk, asterisk, gratitude, asterisk, asterisk, too, is a ritual, and perhaps the simplest one. Every time you thank someone, even with a look, you release the energy of love. Gratitude opens your heart, and when the heart opens, blessings pour in. Spiritual rituals need not take hours. Just a few minutes each day, practiced with awareness, can shift the entire vibration of your life. What creates power is not the length, but the depth of presence. 1 minute of deep meditation can be stronger than 10 hours of worry. One sincere prayer can redirect the course of a life. The most important element is asterisk, asterisk, consistency, asterisk, asterisk. Like a small stream that flows continuously can carve stone, your daily devotion forms a steady current of energy. When that current grows strong, it becomes a magnetic field that draws peace, guidance, and blessing. You no longer need to search, for all things come naturally to you. Remember, ritual is not about showing devotion, but about remembering who you are, a divine soul living in human form. When you bow in silence, you touch the deepest part of yourself, the part that remains bright no matter how dark the world seems. From today, choose at least 1 small ritual. It may be 5 minutes of morning meditation, 1 minute of prayer before sleep, or simply smiling in gratitude when someone looks at you with kindness. Never underestimate the small things. They are the foundation of great faith. When your rituals become part of your breath, you will realize that every act can be sacred. Working, cooking, caring for your children, or simply sitting in stillness, all become ways of connecting with the source. And when you live in that continual connection, you no longer seek blessings because you have become the flow of blessing itself. Forgiveness is an act of energy release. On the spiritual journey, there is a door that everyone must eventually open, the door of forgiveness. You may meditate, pray, and practice gratitude, but if even a single grain of resentment remains in your heart, the flow of blessing cannot move freely. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is an act of strength. It is the art of releasing old energy to make room for the new. Emmet Fox once said, "No one can move forward while still carrying the image of someone they hate. When you hold on to anger, you do not punish the other person, you imprison yourself. Anger is like a rope binding 2 people together in the dark. The harder you pull, the tighter it becomes. Forgiveness is cutting that rope not to free the other, but to free yourself. Forgiveness begins not with action, but with awareness. Look directly at your pain and ask, what am I holding on to? What am I trying to keep? You will see that what you cling to is not the person, but the emotion you once felt. You hold on to pain because it makes you feel right, justified in closing your heart. But when you understand that keeping pain does not make you safe, only heavy, you will want to lay it down. Some say, I will forgive when the other apologizes. But waiting for an apology means giving someone else the power to decide when you can be free. True forgiveness is an inner act, independent of anyone. You forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. When you let go, the energy you once used to feed resentment is released, and the current of blessing flows again. Forgiveness does not mean denying the wrong. It does not say the hurt never happened. Forgiveness is looking at it, learning from it, and choosing not to let it define you anymore. It does not erase memory, but it erases the pain tied to memory. Like a healed wound that leaves a scar, the mark remains, but the pain is gone. A vital part of forgiveness is asterisk, asterisk, forgiving yourself, asterisk, asterisk. Many carry guilt for things they have done or failed to do. They punish themselves with regret, forgetting that God never condemns them the way they condemn themselves. When you forgive yourself, you tell your soul, I understand, I have learned, and I now allow myself to move forward. You cannot receive blessing while still believing you are unworthy. Try this simple exercise. Close your eyes and imagine in front of you the person or situation that caused your pain. Look at them not with judgment, but with understanding. Silently say, I forgive you, not so that you win, but so that I can be free. Then take a deep breath, exhale, and imagine a cord of light gently dissolving between you. You will feel your heart grow lighter. If forgiveness feels difficult, begin with intention. Say, I am not yet ready to forgive completely, but I am willing to want to forgive. That alone opens the first crack of light. From there, the light will slowly enter until one day you realize you have let go. Forgiveness cannot be forced. It comes naturally when you no longer wish to suffer. When you forgive, you heal not only yourself, but also others. The energy of resentment is real and spreads outward, creating ripples of negativity around you. But the energy of forgiveness is just as real, and it dissolves those lower vibrations. Each act of forgiveness purifies the collective energy field of humanity. Faith and forgiveness always walk together. You cannot believe in blessing while holding anger, for blessing enters only an open heart. Forgiveness is the act of faith, faith that the universe's justice is always at work, that every soul is learning its lesson, and that nothing can take away your peace unless you allow it. Now, pause for a moment. Is there someone or something you know you need to forgive? It may be a loved one, a friend, or yourself. Let your mind bring the answer and simply acknowledge it. If you wish, write it down or comment, I am ready to change, to affirm that you are opening the door to healing. Thank you, because in this moment of recognition, the process of forgiveness has already begun. And as you forgive, you will feel your energy shift, no longer heavy or tense, but calm and clear. That is true freedom. Freedom from the past, from hurt, from darkness. Forgiveness is not the end of pain, it is the beginning of light. Living in truth and personal authenticity. There is one thing every soul seeks, no matter what name they give it, and that is asterisk, asterisk, truth, asterisk, asterisk. Truth is not found in rigid doctrines or man-made rules. It is the pure sound that arises from the center of your soul, where you know who you are, why you are here, and what is real. When you live in truth, you live in freedom. When you leave it, you live in fear. Emmet Fox once said, truth does not need to be defended, it only needs to be lived. That statement carries great power, for it reminds us that truth is not out there, but within us. Every person is born with a fragment of universal truth in their heart, but most forget its voice amid the noise of the world. Society teaches us who we should become, what we should follow, how to please, and how to succeed by certain standards, and in doing so, we begin to drift away from ourselves. Living in truth is the journey of returning home. It is the process of removing the masks one by one until your true face is revealed, not perfect, but honest. Only when you dare to face yourself, to embrace both your light and your shadow, can you unite with truth. Truth never exists in extremes. It lives in the balance between strength and gentleness. action and stillness, the small self and the infinite soul. Living in truth requires courage, the courage to stop pretending, to stop performing. When you can say, "This is who I am," before the world, you break the chains of fear. Fear makes us wear masks. Love, the essence of truth, helps us remove them. Each time you dare to express your true feelings, admit your mistakes, or show kindness without needing recognition, you move closer to truth. Being authentic does not mean saying everything you think. It means not saying what your heart does not believe. Authenticity is not reckless expression, but the harmony between what you think, what you say, and what you do. When those three align, you become a clear channel for the light of truth to flow through. Many fear authenticity because they fear being hurt. Yet, it is the lack of authenticity that truly wounds us. Every time you pretend, a part of you weakens. Every time you speak against your heart, your energy becomes fragmented. When you are honest, you may lose a few people, but you will find yourself, and that is the most eternal relationship of all. Truth does not demand perfection. It only asks for honesty. When you are real, you forgive more easily, love more deeply, and live more lightly. Because when you live in truth, you no longer need to prove your worth. You are that worth. Everything else is only form. A part of living in truth is recognizing false beliefs, that have shaped you. Many beliefs are inherited from family, culture, or religion without ever being questioned. I am not good enough. I do not deserve happiness. I must sacrifice to be loved. All of these are illusions. Truth says you were whole from the beginning, that you do not need to trade anything for love, because you are love. As you release each false layer, you return to your luminous essence. Living in truth also means knowing when to be silent. Some truths do not need words. They are spoken through presence. A truthful person does not argue because they do not need to convince. Their light speaks for them. Have you noticed that when someone is truly peaceful, they do not need to say much, yet their presence alone brings calm? That is the power of truth. It radiates without effort. And sometimes living in truth means walking alone, When you choose to be honest with yourself, you may outgrow certain people for a time. Do not fear that. The universe will bring those who match your vibration. Loneliness is not punishment, but transformation, a quiet space for you to hear your inner voice more clearly. Trust that truth never takes away what is real. It only removes what is false to make room for what is genuine. Emmet Fox once said, "When you set your foot on the path of truth, everything else will arrange itself." Indeed, when you live in alignment with your true nature, you do not need to chase blessings, for blessings come naturally to you. Truth and faith are inseparable. Faith gives you the courage to live truthfully, and truth gives depth to your faith. Try something simple today. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and ask yourself, am I living truthfully with myself? If the answer is not completely, do not blame yourself. Just acknowledge it, for awareness is the first step home. When you are honest with yourself, you are honest with the divine within you. Remember, truth is not far away. It lives in your breath, in your smile, in the way you treat others and yourself. When you live truthfully, you live in light, and in that light there is no fear. Truth is freedom. And when you choose freedom, you choose blessing. Faith in action and the principle of the illuminated step. Faith is not merely a feeling or an understanding of the mind. It is an action. A belief that is not expressed through action remains a seed buried in the ground. Only when you take a step does that seed begin to grow. True faith always moves, and within that movement, miracles unfold. Emmet Fox once said, "When you walk by faith, each step you take makes the path appear." That sentence holds the secret of spiritual creation. Faith does not ask you to see the whole path, it only asks you to take the first step. Light never illuminates the entire way. It shines just enough for the next step. And with each step you take, the light moves forward, revealing the road as you walk in trust. Many people say they believe, yet they do not act. They want to see results before they believe. But faith does not work that way. You cannot wait for the sun to rise before lighting the fire, just as you cannot wait for certainty before beginning, acting while still afraid, while still uncertain. That is faith. No one needs faith when everything is clear. Faith exists precisely for the moments when you walk through the mist, knowing you are being guided. Remember, faith is not blind risk. It is the awareness that a higher intelligence is moving with you. When you act with faith, you do not step into darkness, you walk in inner light. But when you act out of fear, you move against yourself. To act in faith is to act with direction, a direction shaped by peace, inspiration, and divine intuition. Faith also does not mean sitting still and waiting for a miracle. Blessings do not fall from the sky, they flow through your hands and steps. When you believe you will find the right work, send the application, learn, connect. When you believe you will meet the right person, go out, give love. The universe can only operate through you. Faith does not replace action, it sanctifies it. There is a profound principle called asterisk, the principle of the illuminated step, asterisk. It says that when you do the right thing, even without seeing results, the universe arranges the rest. Imagine walking across a bridge covered in fog. With every step you take, a plank appears beneath your foot. If you stop out of fear, the bridge stops too. But if you trust and continue walking, the bridge stretches endlessly ahead. Faith works exactly like that. Acting in faith means daring to step beyond your comfort zone. The comfort zone is where the soul stops growing. Each time you go a little farther, even half a step, you expand your boundaries. You tell the universe, I am ready, and the universe responds by opening the way. Sometimes an act of faith is very small, a sincere apology, a decision to leave something behind, the first move on a dream you have held for years. Do not underestimate these small acts, for they are signals to the energy of the universe that you have chosen to believe. Blessings do not only come after great leaps, they come the moment you dare to move. There are also times when you act in faith and see no immediate result. Do not lose heart. A tree does not sprout the day it is planted, and the seed of faith is no different. When you act rightly, that energy has already been sent out, even if you cannot yet see it. One day it will return at the right time in the right way, and often beyond your expectation. Faith is never wasted. It simply takes time to align the links of the universe's plan. When you act in faith, you also learn the art of asterisk, self-trust, asterisk. You stop asking others what you should do and begin listening to your inner voice. Faith helps you trust your intuition, the most subtle teacher God has placed within your heart. Each time you listen and follow it, you strengthen your ability to sense divine guidance. Acting in faith does not mean the absence of fear. Fear may still be there, but you no longer let it steer the ship. You simply tell it, I hear you, but I am still going. Each time you do, fear shrinks and faith expands. And one day, you will realize that the path is no longer frightening, for the light within you has grown brighter than the darkness around you. When faith becomes action, you no longer need to prove or plead. You live in the knowing that all good is already in motion. In that state, you become a channel for miracles. Miracles happen not to those who wait, but to those who move. Now, I invite you to do one small thing. Think of something you know you must do, but have delayed perhaps the first step of a project, a needed conversation, or a change you have feared. Pause, take a deep breath, and whisper, I will walk by faith. Then, when you are ready, take the step, even a small one. And if you feel the spark of inspiration rising, comment, I am ready to change, or simply the number 1, so I know you are walking this journey too. Thank you, because the moment you decide to act, the universe has already begun to move with you, harmonizing with the rhythm of the universe through letting go and trust. When you have understood faith and learned to act through it, the next step on your spiritual path is asterisk, the art of letting go and aligning with the rhythm of the universe, asterisk. Faith is not only about walking forward, It is also about knowing asterisk, asterisk, when to pause, when to release, and when to let the current lead, asterisk, asterisk. Many people believe, yet they do not know how to let go, and so their faith turns into anxiety. They still try to control how the blessing will arrive, instead of trusting that the universe knows better. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means asterisk, asterisk, releasing the effort to force outcomes, asterisk, asterisk. When you let go, you do not stop believing. You simply stop resisting. You do not withdraw from action, you withdraw from worry. You do not give up your vision. You give up the idea that it must happen in a specific way. That is the subtle difference between control and cooperation with the universe. Emmet Fox once wrote, "When you have done your best, leave the rest to the law of life." There is a perfect order in this universe, an intelligent flow, far wiser than any human plan. When you trust and merge with that flow, everything unfolds in perfect timing, perfect way, and through perfect connections. The rhythm of the universe is like the rhythm of breath. There is a time to inhale, to act, to receive, and a time to exhale, to release, to give. Life works the same way. You cannot inhale forever without exhaling, for you would suffocate. Likewise, you cannot always strive without resting, or always hold without releasing. When you learn to let go, you begin to breathe in harmony with the universe. Letting go is also acceptance, acceptance that everything happens with meaning, even when you cannot yet see it. When what you desire has not arrived, it does not mean you have been forgotten. It means the universe is rearranging things for something better. Some losses are protections. Some departures are completions of purpose. Only through the eyes of faith can you see order within apparent chaos. To harmonize with the rhythm of the universe is to trust asterisk, asterisk, divine timing, asterisk, asterisk. Human time is linear, early, late, fast, slow. Universal time is circular. Everything arrives at the moment. It is meant to, never too soon, never too late. When you trust divine timing, you stop forcing yourself to achieve, to finish, to prove. You do your part, then let the rest unfold. That is true peace. Letting go also means asterisk, asterisk, trusting the process, asterisk, asterisk. Many believe only when they see the result, but mature souls believe throughout the journey. You plant the seed, you water it, you wait, that is your part. But the sprouting belongs to the soil, the rain, and the light. When you are patient, you will see the seed break open at its perfect time. No one can make the flower bloom before spring. When you learn to move with the universe's rhythm, you become asterisk, asterisk, gentler with yourself, asterisk, asterisk. You no longer blame yourself for what you have not achieved, nor compare yourself to others. You understand that every soul moves at its own pace. And when you stop forcing yourself, you create space for blessings to arrive naturally. One of the highest forms of letting go is asterisk, asterisk, in a stillness, asterisk, asterisk. In stillness, you can hear the guidance of your soul. It is not a loud voice, but a quiet feeling, like a breath. When you are tense, that voice is drowned out. When you calm down, it becomes clear. The universe always speaks to you through feeling, not through noise. To align with the rhythm of the universe is also to asterisk, asterisk, give asterisk, asterisk. When you share, you allow the current to continue. When you hold too tightly, energy gets blocked. Just as a river stays clear by flowing, the heart stays radiant by giving. You never lose when you give from love. For in this universe there is no loss, only circulation. When you live in this harmony, life becomes lighter. Everything seems to arrange itself. Opportunities appear without chasing. People show up at the right time, and dreams begin to manifest. Not because you forced them, but because you have become part of the flow. You are no longer the resistor, you are the co-creator with the universe. Now, I want to ask you something. Is there something in your life you are still trying to control that should instead be released? Something you need to let go of so the current can move again? Take a moment to reflect, and if you wish, comment asterisk, asterisk, I am ready to trust, asterisk, asterisk, to affirm your choice to align with the rhythm of the universe. Thank you, because in the very moment you choose trust, you begin to move with the rhythm of blessing. Remember, life is not a race, it is a song. When you stop trying to conduct it, you begin to hear the melody. And when you live in tune with that melody, you realize that everything, including you, is already in perfect timing, perfect place, perfect harmony. The power of faith beyond limits, walking through fear to touch the light. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when faith is tested to its core. It is the moment when the path ahead is fogged, when every plan collapses, and when your heart trembles because nothing feels certain. Yet it is in that very moment that asterisk, asterisk, the true power of faith, asterisk, asterisk, is revealed. Faith is not born in comfort or light. It is forged in the darkness of challenge. It is when there is nothing left to hold on to that you learn to hold on to, the only thing that never fades the light within. Emmet Fox once said, "No circumstance can imprison the one who knows who they are." That is the essence of limitless faith. It is not built on conditions, but on a deep awareness of the divine being within you. When you remember that you are not this body, not this role, but a soul carrying eternal light, every boundary dissolves. Limits do not exist in the world. They exist in the mind. When you believe you cannot, you build walls around yourself. But when you say, "I believe this is possible," the universe begins to open doors. Every limiting thought is a chain, and every believing thought is a key. You decide whether to hold the chain or turn the key. Fear is the shadow of faith. It cannot exist where the light of awareness shines. Each time you feel afraid, ask yourself, what am I believing right now? If you believe life is against you, fear grows stronger. But if you believe everything is guiding you towards something better, fear immediately loses power. Faith does not erase fear. It simply makes you greater than fear. Some say, "I cannot overcome this." But faith replies, "You do not have to do it alone. The light within you will lead the way." When you place your trust in the divine source, whether you call it God, the universe, or spirit, you allow infinite strength to move through you. And then you realize that what you once called a miracle is simply the natural law of faith in motion. Remember, every challenge comes not to break you, but to help you discover the depth of your faith. When storms rise, they are not meant to drown you, but to teach you how to ride the waves. No faith is real until it has been tested, and no test can defeat the one who believes in their inner strength. Look back at the times you thought you could not go on, and yet you did. There were moments of loss, of tears, of exhaustion. But now, here you are, breathing, reading these words. That means you have already been stronger than your fear. Faith is not the absence of falling. It is the will to rise again each time you fall. When you walk through fear, you do not only change your destiny, you change your vibration. Fear vibrates at a low frequency. Faith vibrates high. When you believe, you attract light, and that light reflects outward, illuminating the world around you. You become a lamp, not perfect, but radiant. The power of limitless faith also lies in asterisk, asterisk, seeing what is yet unseen, asterisk, asterisk. You look into the future with the eyes of the soul, not the eyes of fear. When everyone says it is impossible, you smile and say, with God, all things are possible. When you hold a vision of good within your mind, you are sending a message to the universe. This is what I choose to believe. And the universe, ever faithful, reflects that belief back to you. Sometimes walking through fear is not a grand act, but a small one, daring to speak your truth, daring to leave what no longer serves you, daring to begin again after all has fallen apart. Each of these acts is a declaration to the universe that you trust the light more than the darkness. Fear always whispers, if you move, you will lose. But faith says, if you do not move, you will never know you can fly. Life hides wings behind every fall. You just have to believe and leap. Now, let me ask you something personal. Is there something you fear so much that it keeps you from moving forward? A dream you hide in your heart because you fear failure, rejection, or not being enough? If so, take a deep breath and whisper, I choose to believe. And if you are truly ready, comment asterisk, asterisk, I am ready to change, asterisk, asterisk, so I know you are rising with the light. Thank you, because it is only when you dare to believe that you truly begin to live. Faith beyond limits does not come to make you someone new. but to remind you that asterisk, asterisk, you have always been strong enough to transcend every limit. Asterisk, asterisk. When you walk through fear, you discover that the light is not waiting at the end of the road. It has been inside your heart all along, just waiting for you to open it, fully receiving blessings, living in the wholeness of the soul. Every spiritual journey leads to one destination. Asterisk, asterisk, the wholeness of the soul. Asterisk, asterisk. It is not a state you reach after success, nor a reward at the end of the road. Wholeness is a state you can live in right now, when you are in harmony with yourself, when you feel blessings flowing endlessly through every breath, every moment, and every person you meet. Emmet Fox once said, "When you know that all good is already within you, you will stop searching for it elsewhere." That is the secret of wholeness. Asterisk, asterisk, understanding that blessings are not something to chase, but something to recognize. Asterisk, asterisk. They have never been absent. Only our eyes, distracted by fear and worry, have turned away from them. To receive blessings fully means to asterisk, asterisk, open yourself completely. Asterisk, asterisk. Not just with the mind, but with the heart. You cannot receive when your heart is closed in doubt or guarded by fear. Blessings cannot pour into a vessel turned upside down. When you open your heart, you become a stream, ready for the sacred water to flow through. Wholeness begins with asterisk, asterisk, acceptance of the present, asterisk, asterisk. Look around you. Everything that exists now is a blessing, whether you see it or not. The home you live in, the loved ones beside you, the breath you take, all are gifts. Even challenges are blessings in disguise, for they help you grow, love deeper, and trust more. When you stop judging what happens as good or bad, you see that everything is serving the awakening of your soul. Living in wholeness also means asterisk, asterisk, ending the search outside yourself. Asterisk, asterisk. You do not need more to feel complete. When you say, just a little more and I'll be happy, you are postponing your joy to a future that never comes. True happiness does not come from getting more, but from realizing you already have everything. Fulfillment is not a goal, it is your natural essence. One of the purest signs of living in wholeness is asterisk, asterisk, the ability to give asterisk, asterisk. When you know the universe always provides, you no longer fear lack. You give freely because you understand that when you give, you do not lose, you allow the current to continue. Just as the sea never runs dry when it gives water to the clouds, your soul never empties when it gives love. To live in blessing is also to asterisk, asterisk, live in presence, asterisk, asterisk. When you are fully here, you connect directly with the divine source. The past cannot touch you, the future cannot frighten you, because you are in the moment where God exists. Feel the breath, the heartbeat, the stillness of space. They are proof of life flowing through you. And that very life is the greatest blessing. Remember, you do not need to become better to deserve blessings. You only need to asterisk, asterisk, realize you have always been worthy, asterisk, asterisk. Every mistake, every wound, every fall is part of the journey that brought you here to this moment where you can love yourself completely. When you love yourself as the Creator loves you, you no longer need to ask for more, because you are already part of perfection. Perhaps you once believed that wholeness was a destination, a day when everything is right, when you have achieved what you want. But the truth is, wholeness is how you asterisk, asterisk, walk the path. Asterisk, asterisk. It is found in the way you smile through difficulty, give thanks in scarcity, and choose faith in uncertainty. That attitude transforms every day into a blessing. And when you live in wholeness, you become asterisk, asterisk, a light for others, asterisk, asterisk. You do not need to preach or persuade. Your presence alone shines. The light within you naturally radiates, guiding others back to themselves. True blessing is not what you keep, it is what you share. Now, I want to ask you one final question. Are you ready to open your heart and fully receive the blessings that already belong to you? Are you ready to stop searching and begin to asterisk, asterisk, live, as if you already have it all? Asterisk, asterisk. If you are, comment asterisk, asterisk, I am ready to receive asterisk, asterisk, and let those words become a declaration for your soul, a sign that you have returned home to yourself. Thank you for walking this journey to the end. Remember, blessings do not come and go. They have always lived within you. You do not need to chase the light. For asterisk, asterisk, you are that light, asterisk, asterisk. When you live in that awareness, you live in fullness, peace, and freedom, where every limit dissolves and only the eternal radiance of the soul remains.